Morning guys, I'm Siobhan, first year medical resident. I just got to the cancer center and I'm meeting one of the oncology residents to do some teaching this morning. So I'm gonna come along, see what the day's like, and you'll get to see a different perspective on cancer care. So it's 8 a.m., just arrived at the hospital, and I'm meeting a cancer resident, oncology resident, for some teaching this morning. Hey Roochi.
Hey Siobhan.
Thank you so much for doing this teaching early on. I really appreciate it.
Of course. So I thought today maybe for teaching we could talk a little bit about lung cancer. I know last week we did a session on breast cancer. Lung cancer is one of the other really common disease sites that you'll see in oncology, so maybe we'll do some teaching on that.
That'd be super helpful because this morning I'm going to a clinic that more specializes in lung cancer, so then I'll seem extra smart.
Perfect.
So this morning, the first clinic is going to be a lung cancer clinic. So people who've already been diagnosed with lung cancers and now we're treating it with different chemotherapies. Lung cancer is a really rapidly changing field, and some types of advanced lung cancers are actually really responsive to targeted therapies. I can't really share the details of the patients I saw, so check out the video that I've linked above. It's such an inspiring story of a woman with metastatic lung cancer, and she's just living her life to the fullest. So I just finished clinic this morning, and now I'm just heading up to meet Roochi again. We're gonna chat, and actually maybe I can get her to tell us, or tell you guys a little bit about why she chose oncology and a little bit about cancer treatments and things like that. So let's go find her. Hey. How was your morning?
Good. It was excellent.
Good. Man, I'm starving.
All right, let's go.
So what's made you think oncology versus anything else?
Yeah, I think it's definitely challenging when you're going through all these rotations to try to pick a specialty. Everything seems so new and exciting when you're going through it.
Yeah.
So one of the things I found is that I really want to make sure that whatever I do, I feel inspired every day and I feel fulfilled. Like as cheesy as it sounds, I think that in terms of my career and looking down the road, that's what's going to keep me going. And I have found that in oncology. You see how strong the patients are, how much they fight. You see how their families come together when they're sick. And you catch people in this time of distress, and you can make them feel calm. You can make them feel cared for. I just think there's a really special relationship you get to develop with the patients. And I don't know, that totally resonates with me. I mean, I'm representing breast cancer with my pink stethoscope. And
oh, I didn't catch that. It's true. I want one of those. So I've got to ask you, so I had one patient last week or the week before who was young and had just recently gotten married, and I don't know, it could have been any of my friends, could have been anyone, and I left actually feeling pretty sad. I don't know, how do you deal with that? Like you're so upbeat about cancer, but it can be devastating.
No, you're totally right, and I would be lying if I said that this stuff doesn't wear on me. It totally does. I think at the end of the day, you just have to step back and make sure that you're looking after yourself as well. So there's a lot of things I like to do to keep myself well. Like I go to the gym, I like to cook a lot. I feel like I have a really good support system with families, friends, partners. So, I mean, those things keep me sane and keep me balanced. Yeah. And I just look at it as this is an opportunity for me to do some good. This person has cancer, whether or not I'm involved in their care.
Yeah.
For me, it's a privilege to be involved in their care and to look after them. So because I see it that way, I don't focus on all the sad stuff. I focus on this is my chance to make a difference for this person.
Man, sign me up. Now when you say all this stuff, I'm like, should I be treating cancers?
Join the oncology team.
I've had a couple people say this.
You.
I feel like
it's a good field.
Of the staff that I'm working with, people are happy, people are saying they really enjoy what they're doing, and they really feel like they're doing a lot of good. So, what time are we at? We're like coming up 10 minutes and our next clinic starts in the afternoon, so I'm gonna eat a little bit and then we'll check in a little bit later. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I just finished lunch. It's coming up on 1 p.m. and we've got something called melanoma rounds. So basically it's when all the people who would be treating and taking care of patients with melanoma, which is a pretty severe, like invasive skin cancer. So wear your sunscreen, guys. Anyway, so we all get together. It's a whole group of people. And so then you get the surgeons. So those are the ones who are going to be actually cutting out the cancer. You get the radiation oncologists. So those are the ones who are going to be zapping it with radiation. And then you also get the medical oncologists. And those are the doctors that I'm working with, and they're the ones who are actually giving chemotherapies and pills and hormone therapies. Basically, I would break it down into the surgeons cut, the radiation oncologists zap, and the medical oncologists give the medications, and they all work together. Okay, so now that we're done with the melanoma rounds, where we talked about different challenging cases, actually going to a melanoma clinic, I'm going that way, to an actual melanoma clinic, and we can see patients. Examination of the patient, their skin and lymph nodes is so critical with melanoma. I'm always looking for suspicious moles. So if something's changed color, gotten a lot bigger, has jagged edges, or is itchy and kind of bleeding, all really concerning features. I've noticed that I've seen a lot of melanomas on patients' backs, and they're often picked up later because you don't see them. So if you see something concerning on a friend or a partner's back, have their back and tell them to get it checked out. Okay guys, so I wasn't even planning to do like an Instagram Q&A at all, but then we just posted a picture and you guys have asked so many amazing questions. And so I grabbed Roochi at the end of the day, so she's staying late to help answer some of these questions. Okay, so first question, Sarah's asking, what's the biggest misconception people have about this field?
So, I would say, okay, there's probably two things. So one is, people think that if you have a diagnosis of cancer, this is like a death sentence.
Yeah.
And they get really, really afraid. And understandably so, if you look at what's posted in the media and the movies, they paint a really grim picture. But I think we have so much hope we can offer patients now. Cancer patients do a lot better now with the treatments that we have available. So it's definitely not a death sentence. And the second biggest misconception I see is that people think that our treatments are incredibly toxic, whereas today there's actually a lot of people, I see cancer patients all the time who are still working while they're on chemotherapy.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring and really, really incredible.
Like, I've seen this now day to day, and that was a misconception I had. Okay, so next question. So Hannah's wondering, what's the most common cause of cancer in the oncology unit? Which, I don't know, I think that's kind of tough to say. Maybe we should just say, we can probably answer better what's most common in Canada, because we do see that a lot.
For sure. The oncology unit here, we're at a tertiary center, an academic center, so we see a lot of the rare type of stuff.
Really specialized.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of North America or Canada, so definitely breast cancer is the most common in women, and prostate cancer is the most common in men.
Yeah.
I'm sure, for all you folks out there, you probably know or have a family member, or even for yourself, somebody in your life has been afflicted by one of those cancers, probably.
Definitely. I know for me, yeah.
Me too.
Okay, let's do one more. There are so many good ones though. Nicola J. Clark, she is asking, does learning more and more make you more of a hypochondriac? That's actually a really good question. Does it? Do you think it's made you more of a hypochondriac?
I definitely think the more you see, the more concerned you definitely get.
Yeah.
So we're in a very specialized cancer center here. This is a tertiary center, so we see a lot of kind of more rare things. So I have seen women who are in their 20s and 30s, 20s even, who get breast cancer. I know it's really, really sad,
man, that's
so when
that's
you see,
so scary.
I know, but so when you see stuff like that, of course you're suddenly like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
What about me?
Yeah.
So that definitely has made me a little bit more of a hypochondriac, I would say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, maybe I haven't been on the cancer part long enough, but I would say, because you guys know I take the bus all the time. So yes, when you work in the hospital, you wash your hands a lot, you Purell everywhere. And I don't know, I find now, I never used to be like this, but if I'm on the bus and I touch the hand railing, because I try not to, if I touch it, I'm like, oh no, like
Oh,
I need
God.
to Purell my hand because I'm
Yeah.
used to just washing my hands all the time. And then there's no Purell around. So then I'm kind of like walking, and I'm someone who like, I'm really bad about like, you know, scratching my face, or like you put your
Yeah,
hands
I
to
put
your
contacts in.
yeah. So
I know
now
the feeling.
I go home and like the first thing I do, like actually the first thing I do is I wash my hands, and I don't know, ask my mom, I was never like that before. But now I wash my hands all the time. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching, and maybe most importantly, I want to thank Roochi for being here and being partly, like totally willing. I'm gonna say partly. Okay, maybe I should do that
I'm
one
actually
again.
handcuffed
Yeah.
to the chair here, FYI.
She can't leave. Send for help.
Thank you. But she promised she would feed me.
Yes. Oh, I did not. Now she's added that in on film. I'm like blackmailed.
You saw it here.
Oh, and if you guys have other questions, she is someone awesome to ask. She's got her own Instagram. I'll link it below. It's also, she's tagged on my Instagram photo, so if you want to take a look, you can see it there. But otherwise, I'll be seeing you guys next week, and I'll be saying that I'm a second-year medical resident, which is crazy to think about. A year has flown by. So thanks for making this year awesome, and I'll be chatting with you guys next week. So bye for now.
Bye.